Hello everybody, this is Tommy Serafinsky, the host of the Conservation and Science podcast. And today I want to talk about a little social media experiment that I've done a couple of weeks ago. So the experiment was that for the period of 3 to 4 weeks, I decided to not go onto social media and not to interact, just log in for a minute, maybe 30 seconds, just scroll through and to see what's up. And the goal of that was just to gain the perspective, right? To not be so close to it, just gain the perspective of what's going on there. And by the way, two disclaimers. One is that it was to do with the social media, text-based social media. So your Twitter, your Facebook, your Threads, etc. And number two, those of you who follow me on social media might go like, oh, you've never been like for 4 weeks out. I'm a creator, so my scheduled posts were still going on to promote my podcast episodes and so on, but I wasn't on a social media per se. I could schedule those posts from the social media management apps, so that's why you saw my post, but I wasn't interacting. And so I learned two things. Number one, even though I was intending to only be there for like a minute or so, every single time it was at least 10 minutes. And that only proves something that we already know, how addictive social media is, how big of a thief of attention it is. And just by the way, remember that attention is your currency, and it's a currency for your time, and time is your only non-renewable resource, the only thing you have. So by giving your attention to social media, you're selling your time, and you have only limited amount of time in your life. So that was first thing, and we already know that. But the other thing that was even more interesting to me that I want to share with you here is what types of interactions I observed. And most of those interactions, they were negative ones. They were people telling other people how wrong they are. They were people commenting on their organizations or NGOs, like how bad they are, how badly they've done things, how not right they are. People were coming out of their way to comment on somebody else's, apparently benign post, how they disagree with them and how they're wrong and how they're inadequate and so on and so forth. And where I'm heading with that, it's not like, oh, because it's negativity and negativity in your life is bad. Yeah, we know that. That's something is well documented. But what I want to draw your attention to is that people tend to get into habits. And once you do something, whether physically or mentally, you get into the habit, and that is becoming your default mode of operation. And this also goes for thinking. There's a good body of scientific evidence for that. So if you're on social media and you're engaged in these types of interactions, day after day after day, week after week, month after month, for years on end, and you know yourself, some of those people, maybe you're one of them, they're just like constantly on those social media. You look at their timeline, there's like 2 hours gap between the posts, tops. Constantly. If you're engaged in this sort of interaction for years, every day, what does it do to your brain? What does it do to your relation with your colleagues at work, to the relation with your family, with your friends, with your kids, with your spouse? Having antenna constantly up. What is wrong? Who does something wrong? How bad things are? How inadequate they are? How badly or wrongly things they've done? How not right they are on things? This is way of thinking. And I'm just thinking that if you're engaged in this sort of interactions in a chronic manner for months or years on end, this can't be healthy. This can't be good for you. And so I just want you to reflect on that and have a good day.